I want to do you a favor, okay? I hope you're not too mad. I was actually just trying to clean your screen. You see, I wanted to clean your screen so that you could see me better. I wanted to clean your screen so that you could treat me better. I wanted to clean your screen because I wanted to earn your utmost respect. But notice how I ambushed you. I did it without your permission. But I hope you don't mind because I had good intentions. That's exactly how people feel when you find them in the middle of their sin and you try to change them. Yeah, the screen is dirty, but who hired you to be a window washer? You came in and you accepted them in their mess, and now you're too busy trying to clean them up. And your desire to clean them up has nothing to do with God. It's not you trying to make them ready for God. It's not an evangelistic effort so that they can go to heaven. Let's just keep it real. Your desire to clean them up is because you want them to be better towards you. You want them to see you better. You want them to treat you better. You want them to love the parts of you that you have not yet learned to love. Reminds me of two dogs I had. I had two Siberian Huskies, and I ended up moving back in with my mother. Now, before I moved in with my mother, my dogs were house dogs. They had been house dogs all of their lives. One was 7 and one was 5 at this time. But my mom claimed to be allergic to the dogs, so I had to put them out back. If you don't know anything about Huskies, they are the great escape artists. That's one of the nicknames they've earned, and they've earned it rightfully. In other words, they can pretty much escape out of anything, which is why, while they're beautiful, they're not the ideal pets for everybody. You need a lot of land and the patience of Job to own a Husky. My mom's backyard was fenced, but the fence wasn't so high, so we had to tie the dogs out. And we gave them really, really long ropes. That way they could travel the extent of the backyard. Just didn't want them to go over the fence. And of course, we made the ropes short enough so they couldn't reach the fence. That way they wouldn't accidentally hang themselves. The point is, they had some really long ropes. One day I was in the house and I heard that oh so familiar sound of my female Husky crying. She wasn't just crying, she was whimpering and howling. I knew what that meant. It meant my male Husky had gotten loose. You see, she had this really, really bad habit. The female Husky, that is. We used to catch her all the time trying to gnaw away at his rope. She would always set the male dog free. And the joke around the house was that she was hoping that he would turn around and set her free once she set him free. He didn't do that. Instead, he left with not so much as a thank you. And when he went on a run, she forgot her snitches get stitches mantra. And she'd howl until she got results. I've said it once and I'll say it again. It is not your job to clean up another human being. It is not your job to help another human being to heal. Your assignment is to point them to Christ. He's the ultimate healer. After all, according to the scriptures, only what you do for God will last. I think we've all seen it, most of us women anyhow. We've had a guy to come up to us and we tell him that, hey, you're not right for me, you're not saved or what have you. And he says, well, if I had a woman like you, I would be a better man. If I had a woman like you, maybe you can point me in the right direction. And even a rabbit roach knows better than that. Because yes, he will start going to church. Yes, he will do a lot of things that are right. But only what he does for God is going to last. As soon as you disappoint him like the human that you is, you're going to be all kinds of female dogs. Why am I sharing this? Because ladies, you got it bad. Women love to get men who don't meet their standards and then try to clean them up. This is why we're known to be nags. We nag because we see a man's potential to do good or to do evil. We know if he does right, we get to keep him for the rest of our lives, or his life, whichever one kicks the bucket first. But we also know his proclivity to do evil. We can see that evil potential. So we pull all the stops to get him to go in the right direction. In other words, we try to play God. And how does God respond? He'll Miss Celie you. You remember that scene in The Color Purple when Mr. went to get some kerosene and he was about to put it in the oven? Miss Celie sat there and she watched him in her rocking chair. And right when he was about to light that stove, that rocking chair was empty. While God will never leave nor forsake you, he will watch as you make a mess of your life while you're out there trying to do his job. This is to say that evangelistic dating is just as demonic as it is silly. After all, a man doesn't want to meet this version of you and then find himself married to this version of you. The same is true for the guys. It's not wise to go to the club, find a woman twerking on a dance floor, turn around and exchange numbers with her, soul tie yourself to her, and then start complaining about her lifestyle. Because by doing so, you're going to cause her to feel rejected. This is to say there is no shortcut to the blessings of God. Either way, you got to wait. You can wait inside of a relationship or outside of a relationship. Your choice. Outside of the relationship, the worst thing that you're going to experience is loneliness. In all our honesty, you can get rid of that by simply getting busy. Waiting inside of a relationship is a whole different ball game. Because while you got what you want, you don't necessarily have what you need. You end up with someone who doesn't know how to love themselves. Consequently, they cannot properly love you. This is when the waiting game starts. Now you start waiting on them to heal and become the person that you see that they have the potential to be. all the while being misused and abused by who they became or who they've chosen to be. Take this from someone who did the evangelistic dating / evangelistic marriage thing before. You're not going to clean up somebody who likes being dirty. You're not going to heal someone who likes the benefits of being broken. And you're not going to change someone who doesn't want to be changed. Human beings will make adjustments, but it's only a matter of time before they revert back to what they know. This is because, again, only what you do for God will last. In short, no one can change for you. You can't change for anybody. You can make adjustments, but if it's not done for God, it won't last. The change, that is. All the same, everything that you build, you want to build it within the will of God. Anything you build on any other foundation other than the Word of God will become your own personal Tower of Babel. And you have to remember that God allowed them to build that tower for well over 100 years before he confused their language. Hear me, I'm not telling you to stop building. I am saying change your foundation. Give God his rightful place. Otherwise, you'll spend the rest of your life dating people that you feel the need to clean up. And you will eventually run them away with your efforts. Or they'll mess you up. And right after they leave, you're going to find somebody else looking at you, trying to clean you up. In other words, saying that you're not good enough. And get this, the end of all of your relationships. In short, it will look like somebody telling you that you're not good enough for them. And just as a bonus, if you're in a relationship, especially a marriage with somebody who's not serving God, then the Bible tells you that you have to win them with your behavior. You're not going to win them by nagging, complaining, threatening to divorce them, threatening to take their children away, dragging them to church, or beating them across the head with the Bible. All of those things constitute as witchcraft when you're trying to control another human being. All the same, it is better not to get in a relationship with somebody who's not yet in a relationship or a committed relationship with the Most High God. Don't get with anybody who will put you or themselves before the Most High God. Now go and be great. I ain't gonna do it.